The Blazers, Tommy, they started the season very well. They were in first place, 12, 13 games in. A few injuries, including injuries to Dame, but they're looking like they won't be a playoff team, which is a real shame because I would love to see Damian Lillard in the playoffs. According to DraftKings Sportsbook, they opened at plus 195 to make the playoffs. One of the reasons is they had Jeremy Grant, Josh Hart, Shaden Sharp, the draft pick. So they kind of had a roster that you felt like around Dame could really vault them into contention for a playoff spot. And for much of the season, they've been in that 7 to 10 range, but now they're currently sitting 13th. They're 31-37. They're 4 games back of the 6th seed and 2 games back in the loss column of the 10 seed. But given how the Lakers have been playing, OKC and Utah are not going away. It's not looking good for them. They're right now on DraftKings. They're minus 1,400 not make the playoffs. And I just this is a team that I would like to see. I love watching Damian Lillard in the playoffs, dissecting defenses, dissecting coverages. We should also mention Anthony Simons, who has had a good season and another young player that fits with Dame. One thing I would just make a note of, it is interesting. This is the first, because Dame was hurt last year towards the end of the season, and CJ got traded at the deadline. This is really Dame's first season playing without CJ. And I think that, based on his comments to us, I think that can account a little bit for some of his aggressiveness and some of his scoring output.
So they're, as of today, they're 8th in offense, 27th in defense, 24th in net rating. Why is this defense so bad? I don't think anyone thought this was a top 5 defense going into the season, but why are they so bad?
It's interesting because I think a lot of defenses are really bad. Like, we talked about this way earlier in the season, but it is interesting to sort of note how defensive ratings have just completely gone through the roof relative to 5 years ago, 10 years ago, certainly 15 years ago, 16 years ago, 17 years ago when I first came into the NBA. And the spacing is really hard. I think some of it with Portland has been a little continuity issue. When you're playing young players, and they have we should mention Watford too, of course. They're playing young players. I think it's hard to figure out. I think some of it is personnel too. Look, I think the idea of Jeremy Grant, the idea of Josh Hart, like, it's great. You really have to have 5 guys at a time really committed to playing good team defense. So some of it, I think, is just personnel based. But yeah, I mean, this team to me is fun to watch because you're going to get a lot of points. They need more, and what that looks like going forward in Dame's career, his commitment and this loyalty to this franchise. They need more. And the reality is he's not getting younger, but the accumulation of skill and work and dedication to craft, you could make an argument that he's basically got 4 or 5 years left at this peak. I certainly think health plays a factor too. He was battling that injury for a long time. Let's look at the odds right now, just because we went over the standings. So to participate in the West play-in tournament, so this would be seeds 7 through 10. Right now, Portland has the 9th best odds to participate. So we've got Lakers minus 205, Timberwolves minus 200, Pelicans minus 170, Dallas minus 140. Then you've got the Warriors and Clippers, who are on the other side right now, at 6 for the Warriors, 5 for the Clippers, Thunder, Jazz, both over plus 200. And then you go down, and there's a bunch of teams that won't be in the play-in that are currently sitting 4 or under in the Western Conference. We've been fascinated by this race the whole year, and 15, 16 games to go, whatever it is. There's still hardly any separation. Phoenix is the one team that is sort of separated a little bit in that 4 through 13 spot. But this race has been super dynamic the entire season. College hoops fans, it's time to bring the action to the palm of your hand with DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. This week, new customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up with code JJ. For a limited time, all customers can score a no-sweat bet during round 1 and 2 of the tournament. Go to the app, opt in, and place a no-sweat bet this weekend. If it doesn't hit, you'll get a bonus bet back up to $10. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code JJ. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.